So, welcome back. Today, we're doing the ISR oil pan install on our 5.3 here. Alright, so fast forward a bit, we clean this up a little bit, and I couldn't find the hardware for the windage tray, but lucky on me, bought a toolbox recently, and had some leftover nuts, and luckily I had the exact amount of nuts that fit, just happened to be the same thread size, so lucky me. Alright, so we just finished that up, and something I would like to do before anything, I'm going to take some ATF. Some of them kind of slide back and forth, so that makes me think if, I kind of want to spin it over and make sure the crank isn't going to hit anything before I go and put the oil pan on. But first, I'm just going to prime the pump. And I'll also have to turn it back over. I just don't want it to be spinning while it's dry, you know? Ooh, that one's getting like really close. It's probably supposed to get close though. Don't you think? Ah, crap, there goes the wrench again. Okay, it's not touching anything, so I think we're fine. Alright, that's done. Okay, so we got it as centered as possible. Definitely looks a little bit better on this side. It's not like super duper close. Alright, so next step is going to be the pickup tube, which I do believe is going to go on like this right here, because it wouldn't make sense to do like that, right? That made no sense. That makes sense. So putting them like that. And I do believe he gave us hardware for the pickup tube as well. Should be in here somewhere. Somewhere. There it is. No losing hardware. I believe this is tiny bolt. It's the one tiny bolt. What else? What would the bolt would be? No. No. I don't have my little magnetic cups, so I'm gonna hope nothing rolls away. Alright. It looks a bit, but no, it can't be right. Because it's gonna touch the timing chain. There's no way that's right. That's literally gonna touch the timing chain. This bolt's like stupid long. It's gonna touch the timing chain, is it not? Okay, let's just put it in and see. Just put her in and see. Uh-oh. Did you put the windage tray on after or before? Because it looks like you can't quite. Oh, this. Oh. Okay, I think the windage tray goes on after. The guy in the video did it before, I think. Unless I'm just tripping. Alright. Back off it goes, I guess. Alright, last bolt. Okay. Let's see if we can't just loosen it. Let's slide it under. I'm gonna take that bolt out at least. No, oh wait, because it's gotta go. Okay. Hang on. Take Take all these off. Don't drop them in the engine, please. That wouldn't be fun. Can you imagine if I dropped one of these in the engine? That would be crazy. Alright. Now, we'll pop this on. Pop this on. Whoa, and how the doopy-doopy-doo, how was that gonna fit? Yeah, because then this goes over, and then this goes in. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It's good enough. But then that's not going to fit. The windage tray isn't going to fit. So do I need to cut the windage tray? I'm confused. Or do I not use the windage tray because of how high up that oil pan sits? I might not need to use the windage tray. I did all that work. And I don't think I'm supposed to use the windage tray. I'm going to go to ISR's website and figure out how to do this. In the meantime, before I do that, we're going to put this bolt in. And then I'm going to figure out if I need that windage tray. Because it looks like I don't. For some weird reason. I mean, it would make sense if I don't. Because that oil pan sits super high up. Like the part that's like all this, it's the oil pan's just like bam, 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 like that. This is the only part where it actually comes down. So I mean, I guess it would make sense if I don't need a windage tray. That's what I was originally thinking. It was like, I don't think I need a windage tray because that oil pan looks like it has like, it's just like, I'll show you in a minute. I'm just saying it would make sense. It wouldn't be like baffling if I didn't need the windage tray. Like I suspected that from the start. That I wouldn't need a windage tray. So, I'm pretty sure we don't need a windage tray. I'm pretty positive. Now that I'm seeing how that pickup tube doesn't fit. But I'm pretty sure that guy in the video managed to make that windage tray fit, which is... Huh. So I think some hardware fell out. And for some reason, we got two of these tiny bolts. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I have two of these? Is it not for that? Is that why it's so long? Maybe it's not for that? Let's just see. If I throw this all the way through, it gets really close. But, there's no it's gonna hit it. Why do I have two? This is confusing me. Okay, I need to go do some research. Yeah, there's a second washer too. Okay, well, I'm gonna do some research. Now I'm confused. Alright, so ran into a few things. So first off, did some research. We're gonna have to cut the windage tray. So I kinda got it set up here so I can figure out where to cut it, but I am super glad that I have the crank in this position because this would have gone terrible. Putting this in, I realized that it's contacting the crank. It's like scratching it right there. So, as we're cutting this, we're also going to cut just a portion of this off. I'm just going to cut it like zzz, zzz, like that, so it's not hitting our crank, because that would be very, very bad. Alright, so fast forward, and lucky us, we cut this windage tray and got it just right. First try cutting it, which is super sweet. And it's pretty tight. I could have not cut all that out, but I did. But you know, it's good, it's good. I don't know if I said this already, maybe I did, but I'm super glad I have it in this position, because this little elbow that was coming down here was rubbing up against the crank. Man, that would have been bad. So we trimmed it up, and as you can see, it's not touching it. It's pretty close. But once this is fully bolted down. I'll be pulling them more this way, so it won't be right up on it, you know. But still, definitely something to note. But we cut that a little bit, grinded it down, so it clears now. We cut the windage tray. You can see it's not touching anywhere down here. And we come over here. And I could have done a little bit better, you know. I just kind of made a big rectangle. But I mean, I could have been like that, you know. It's no big deal. I decided to go underneath it. I don't know how people typically go about it, but I just went underneath it. So that's how we're rolling. So we're gonna get these bolts on. We're gonna get centered. First thing we're gonna do is actually get this on to make sure everything's gonna clear. Maybe spin the engine over. I found the smaller bolt too that I like better. So we're gonna use this one. All right, I think it's gonna clear everything. Okay, that's good. So, next step is getting this oil pan on. We got the O-ring in there. That's tight, that's good. Oil pan. Oh, gasket first, and oil pan. I didn't get anything else in here, did I? Don't believe so. You should probably, you know, make sure there's something inside that oil pan, like dust or whatever. But yeah. Very nice, very nice. Now, I see some people, what they'll do is they'll do glue, and then they'll do this, or they'll just do glue. Don't do that. If you use glue in the gasket, that's called double gasketing, and it will leak. If you just do glue, it will leak. So do a gasket. Do a gasket. All right. Hallelujah. This right here is the boule de ball, or $700 oil pan. There's 4, so what I'm seeing is there's 4 chambers, and each chamber has its trap door. So this is really nice oil pan. This is just such a sick oil pan. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. You can see what I'm saying now about this being really high up, but we figured it out, so we're good. Like a glove. Oh, wow. How are we going to get that? Oh, man, I should have brought an Allen key. It's okay. We'll get the other ones. We'll get that hand tight, and then we'll come back another day with an Allen key to get those. I think that's what's happening. Oh, wait. Nope. We got it. I'm not sure what that was, but we're good now. Maybe a trap door was open, and it was hitting the pickup. Maybe that's what it was. The trap door, because it's upside down, so the trap door go and the pickup was going and then it went and now we're good. You know what I'm saying? So let's get all these holes lined up. I wish there was somewhere to like grab the gasket and move it around, so I can get it lined up just perfectly. How are we gonna get those in? Let's just try it first. Oh, hey, would you look at that? It's as easy as that. I was concerned. This is not wanting to go in. Try this one. Okay, so we're all done. This wasn't tight. I tightened it, probably intentionally. I don't know, maybe not. We got all these bolts down. Oil should not come out of these ports unless we're turning the engine, which we aren't. So turn around, put some oil in it, we'll call it a day. Take this off first. You can see I'm turning this thing over with one hand. I know it's on a stand, but still. Here, the trap doors in there. Oh, you know what else I gotta do? I gotta put the dipstick on. Okay, so this is what the complete oil pan looks like. So we already went over all this. Let's go over the dipstick. So for the dipstick, it just kind of made sense to bend it, because I'm like, why would it be straight, you know? Like the factory dipstick isn't straight and it's not gonna fit any other way. So we bent it, and it basically just in the shape we wanted, so we can get it where we want, right? And in theory, it's not gonna mess up the dipstick level at all, you know? Because it's still the same length. Even though we bent it, it's still the same length, you know? So the dipstick's still gonna be getting a correct reading. With that being said, I would wait to do this. I went ahead and did it because I'm pretty certain about what accessory drive I'm gonna be running. But some accessory drives, the alternator's right here, and then if I'm running AC, the AC is gonna be over here. So in my head, the way I was thinking about this is I might run AC. So if I am, the AC is gonna be right here. But I'm running an F-body accessory drive. So, and I'm gonna get the one with the alternators up here instead of down here. So it's gonna be alternator, power steering, and then the drive. And then I think that's really it. I think there's a pulley and then the water pump, of course. But there shouldn't be anything over here. So, I mean, even if there is, I'm sure the shape will still be just fine to move it over here. But for now, this is going to be our setup. And then the last thing, before I forget, I got to put this drain plug in. Not drain plug, but this plug for the one that we aren't, for the side that we aren't using. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure you have to bend this in order to get it where you want it. So I got it right where I want it, so it's perfect.